just don't stop, ladies and gentlemen, man. Here we are once again on that hit show of stories written by a current prisoner, man. Working overtime on the grind, man. Trying to bring you guys the most exclusive interviews from behind bars, man. Exactly. From directly from this California prison system, man. That's exactly what we do, man. Let's go ahead and waste no time whatsoever, man, and dive right into this interview, man. Please hit that like button on your way out, man. And hit that subscribe. That is, if you enjoy listening, man, to these prison interviews, man. Let's go ahead and dive right into this thing, man.
Okay, conejo, my good friend, sir. Go ahead and do your thing. Okay, conejo, my good friend, sir. Go ahead and do your thing, my friend. Go ahead and shine bright, brother.
Okay, this is Conejo coming at you. I'm going to tell you a story of when I was in Reno, Oklahoma in 1992 or 93. When we first got there in Oklahoma, well, there was only at that time maybe I'd say 20, at the most 20, 23 camaradas from Califas. That you got to remember, the higher you go in the federal system, the less it gets of inmates of the Califas car. In the feds, because in the feds you don't play north and south, black and white. You don't play that race card like they do in the prison system in California. In the feds, everybody that's from Califas is together, and the higher you go in the middle of California, the less inmates it becomes. Because when you're like in Longpont, Victorville, these federal penitentiaries here in California, of course the whole yard is almost full of all Califas. That's what they call it, Califas car. Well, when I got there in I think it was 93. I get there in 93 in El Reno, Oklahoma. Me and my cuñado, Boxer, get there, and Chavo from Chavo from San Diego también. We're right there. So when I get there, Chavo was already there. Chavo already had the llaves to run the ranfla for all Califas. But when we first got there, me and Boxer, my cuñado, Luis Venegas, we didn't like the way things were going because nobody was really enforcing nothing. Because you had the TS dealing drugs, you had other states dealing drugs, and nobody was taxing them. Nothing was organized. So what I did is I got a hold of old man Gato. At that time, Gato was in Florence, Colorado. So I wrote to him, got a hold of him, and then we started communicating through phone and everything. And he gave me the blessing. He said, "That's you right there. You run it any way you feels right. You know what's up. I don't need to tell you." So as soon as he tells me that, I just need you to confirm it with Chavo. And in Boxer, I knew I didn't have to confirm it with Boxer because Boxer always had my back. That was my ace deuce. That's my ace deuce carnal right there, because he's my cuñado. Well, I knew anything I do, he had my back all the time, right or wrong. So when Chavo heard, Chavo got kind of butthurt a little bit, but at the same time, he said, "Hey, I'm down with you, bro, because we're all from 619. The only ones that are going to have a problem with this is the homies from Los, maybe 18th Street, because at that time, I'm not going to lie, there was maybe 7 or up to 8 inmates from 18th Street, and mostly from different sides of 18th Street, because at that time, you got to remember, most of them dudes from 18th Street are in here, were in the feds for illegal entry. They did time in state system, and then they like 2 or 3 years for illegal entry because they were Califas illegally. Well, anyways, when it jumped the first time, when it jumped was because we went around and we got everybody together and we said, "Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start taxing the TS," and at that time they had what's called the M&Ms from Texas too and Arizona. And we're going to start taxing them. And they're going to give us a 15%. If not, I want to know right now, is everybody down? So everybody raise their hands. And if it's going to create some kind of finance for everybody so we can have a little commission coming in, then we're down. So all I asked everybody, I said, "Look, anytime something happens and you hear something happens with somebody from Califas, I don't care if he's white, black, or brown, you better be there. Because the first time something happens and we find out that you're over there at work or you're in the kitchen or you're out in the yard and you heard about it, and you didn't even try and come to reinforce the car so we can get off, then it's gonna be your ass. And I made it clear. I told everybody, look, once we start getting money in, everybody's gonna start getting $200 in their books, so we can go to tienda. And if this doesn't, if one of you violate these reglas and something happens and don't show up and not there to back the homies up, then you're gonna get hit. And everybody, I'm just letting it be known. So everybody says, come on. Everybody agreed. So the first time they jumped with they're called
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
The first time it jumped with the dirty white boys from Texas. And when it jumped, it was only like 4 of them. And it jumped with Homeboy Pico from Bassett, and he jumped with Little Ray Ray from Bassett. So as soon as we drive up, and I mean when that shit jumped and we heard about it, man, we came in chinga, we surrounded all them with fierros and everything. Man, that shit they almost themselves. They thought, and we strapped up and we told people, what's up? Did you want to get out or what? No, that's it. We're cool. And they pissed on themselves. So that went around the whole yard, and all the Italianos and all them, all the mafiosos, the Russian mob and the Italian mob, they heard about it. Well, some of them seen it too. Well, they told these dudes that this is a new car coming and taking action. So they knew it was me, Chavo, and Boxer from Lomas, you know? So after that, that's when we said, look, if you guys don't want to have no problem, the TS, anybody who is dealing drugs, we charge 15%. You want to deal drugs in this yard. Now, I'm not going to lie. The Italianos, we charge them 10% for the simple reason that they had more drugs in the yard than anybody else, so they were going to be paying us more. So I reduced the percentage to 10% because they had China white, they had black, and they had so it was like coming from different angles because they always had it coming in. Now the Colombianos and the Italianos, they almost like most of the Colombians, they had like maybe all the time coke. So I made it to where I wanted at the same time because God always told me anytime you're working with anybody that's got organization in the street, you give them a lower percentage because they'll open the door more for you. So that's what I did. Well, it was going good. It was going good for like a year. Everything was running smoothly. We're making money and everything. Well, boom, the thing jumped with the TS in Florence, Colorado. It was like a little isolated issue. Well, at that time that it jumped with Florence, Colorado, it was a little isolated issue. They shot word. Well, they didn't shoot word. What they did is they shot some inmates to the oil in Reno, Oklahoma. Well, they shot word from the oil to the yarda, and they told us, look, fool, we just got off on these fools. And this is what they told us. They said, it's up to you guys if you guys want to get off on TS, but it's not a mandatory thing to do right now. But later on it might be because they're little right now. And that time it jumped with Sana. Well, Sana and Mangas and Chavetas and then with the TS. Well, at that time, Chavo didn't like this vato named Marcos from the TS because Chavo one time got drunk, and Marcos is the kind of big dude from TS. You gotta remember, they're Mexicanos like us too, so they ain't no punks. So they wanted to go one-on-one. Chavo tells us, let's go in the restroom. We're gonna go one-on-one. Me and this fun will drop him right now. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Marcos got the best of him. So when that shit happened in '93, when that happened and they shot words, Chavo tells, hey, I'm gonna hit this fool. I'm gonna take his win mañana. So we're like, kick back, fool. We already got all this shit going. And we got finance coming in with the Colombianos and we got finance coming in with the Italian mob and all that fool. And the TSE, fool, you're gonna fuck everything up. You're gonna mess everything up. So he says, look, I'm gonna do it. You guys don't have to do it. I'm gonna go from here. Once I do that, I'm going to Florence, Colorado, or Leavenworth. At that time, they only let us go to United States Penitentiary, Leavenworth, United States Penitentiary, Florence, Colorado, and United States Penitentiary, Long Park, because all them other new penitentiaries weren't built. So, of course, we can't let him go on his own. So we said, okay, we're gonna go with you. Boom. We said, we're gonna go with you. Well, me and Boxer go. we go, and me and Boxer get strapped up, a couple of the homies from Califas, and we say, look, it's an isolated issue, it's him and just Marcos. But también estaba Alberto Castañera from San Isidro was there too. Big Beto from San Diego, he was there. And Chaka from Chicali. And at that time, Chaka from Chicali and Beto Castañera, they used to kick it with Chavo a lot, especially Beto. But Chaka would kick it with us a lot, me and Boxer. So anyway, we said, we're going. So we go, and over they got what's called a Puma Club. The Puma Club is where all the raza hangs around at. It's like, they got pool tables, like a Cremont, like in the street. Like when you go play pool, they got ping pong tables, they got music, they got all that. Well, the Feds, that's the way it is. And I'm not exaggerating. Anybody who went to the Feds, you can tell. If you talk to dudes, they heard my story, and they tell the Feds in the weight room and all that. When they got the games, the pool tables, they got poker tables, all that. Well, anyways, and I mean, we go to the Puma Club, and as soon as we get there, the dudes from the TS are right there when you go into the entrance. So when we're walking over there, and as soon as they see us, they take off inside. So at that time, Chavo calls Marco, hey, Marcos. And he goes, yeah, ¿qué pasó? And at that time, you got to remember, Reno, Oklahoma in the wintertime, it's cold. I'm talking about it snows. In the tarde, it is like 30 degrees. So that night, it was kind of cold. So Chavo has a big old jacket. We got the big old brown jackets. So big old boots. The snow was snowing too. Well, here comes Marco. He said, ¿qué pasó? And what's it? Slim comes with him. And he goes, hey, Slim, hold on. Let me talk to him. And Marcos pulls up, what's up? And as soon as he comes, Chavo pulls out the fierro and boom, starts blasting. Bam, bam. And when he starts blasting, boom, boom, boom. Hits him like 3 times. And the first hit he hits him, the fierro was real sharp. The jacket helped him out a little bit. But the second one, boom, hit him in the neck good. And Beto's a big old dude. Beto Castañera from San Isidro, I'm talking about, he's like 6 foot. He's a big old monster. So when Slim started coming, Beto just hits him one time, boom, with the pipe, a solid pipe, laid him out. Bam, laid him out. So me and Boxer jump on him. Boom, boom, we start hitting him. We start hitting him. And here comes Shy Boy, and I think it was Goofy. Here comes Shy Boy and Goofy. Boxer takes off on Goofy, started hitting, bang, 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 bang. And that's when they get down. So they put us down on the ground, but we're taking off. Because when you're in the Feds, they don't got like fences like the state, like, because there's no gunners inside the buildings. All it is over there is the guns are around the fence. They don't care about what you do in the buildings. They just don't want you to escape. All the guns are around the fence, around the walls. They don't want you to escape. So we know that they're not going to shoot. So when they tell us get down, we will get down, but we're running our hands and feet.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So these dudes from Texas,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
jump down, we take off. By that time, we're already in and Louisiana unit and LA unit. We're in the middle. So we get down, we start throwing the fierros in the air. Okay, this is Conejo coming out. Still tell you the story about when me, Chavo, and Boxer, Luis Venegas from Loma, San Diego, and Chavo from San Diego, Beto Castañera, and Chaka from Chicali, when we got off with the TS, well, like I told you, when Beto laid out Slim, boom, he lays him out. Well, Chavo already was stabbing Marcos in the neck. Well, when he laid him out and Chavo was hitting him, some of the blood of Marcos jumped into Slim's neck and it fell on his body. You know what I mean? So when they go, get out, we took off running, boom, and it's kind of, you gotta remember that.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's like 5, 7, 6 o'clock, so it's already, the sun's going down, so it's kind of dark, but they got lights there. The Feds, they got it light up, but still, it's kind of dark. And where the Puma Club, where the rec center's at, it's kind of like an isolated area. It's over there going towards like where the warehouses are at. So we know that's anybody from Califas, when they get to a prison, believe me, that's the first thing the big homies tell you. The carnales from them tell me, look, always be familiar with your area and structurize everywhere. You know how to hide, where the blind spots at, or everything. So we already knew. When we first get to a prison, that's the first thing we do. You analyze everything, the yard. Okay, where can we hit somebody? Where can we get away? Where's the easiest spot? Well, anyways, we already had it planned out. So when that happened, the blood went all over a couple of dudes, so we take off, boom. And we take off, man, here comes there's a couple homies from Califas that came, but that were mostly from 18th Street, and we didn't get them involved because the only simple reason we didn't get them involved is because at that time there was two homies from 18th Street, and we thought they were two-timing. What I mean two-timing is they're coming around when our juntas with Califas, but at the same time they were going over there and telling the dudes from Texas what's going on, because what they are is they're selling themselves for a shot of dope. And them dudes from Texas, like they had a lot of dope, they thought they'll pay them and they'll let them know what's going on. That they'll know what's weird, what are we up to in our mind? Me, Chavo, and Boxer. So a couple of times we told some of the homies from 18, we told them, look, fool, you guys are here for illegal entry, but you're from Califas, fool. We see you with the vatos from Texas a lot, and I know you vatos are strung out, but the day I find out that you're selling this out because you want to get high, believe me, bro, you're going to get blasted, you're going to get dealt with. Real gacho. So at that time, when we did that, we didn't tell them because we thought they were going to let them know. So when we're taking off, they say, get down. They're coming around the corner where you do the turn with the buildings and the rec center, and they see us running, so they just got down. So when all the Judas come, the federal officers come, when they came, they seen them, and automatically they thought that these fools are the fools that hit the dudes from Texas. Because we were, you gotta remember, when you wear the jackets, the big old jackets, the rain jackets, they're big with the hoodie and everything, dude, like a big old fur in the front, it covers your face and everything. And they give you, over there in the face, they give you a mask that covers your whole mouth, your nose and everything. You just see your eyes, because over there they got snow blizzards. When you go to work, they got snow blizzards that, man, you touch your mustache, and it'll just fall because it's frozen. Well, we were all covered up like that. So when we take off, the cops, they get them, they say, these guys right here. And at that time, they didn't really know what happened because some of the blood was on Slim, Marcos' blood, so they even thought that Slim and Negro, they would probably hit Marcos. So they had their whole story mixed up. But what they did is they picked up everybody from Califas and everybody from Texas. They locked us up in the hole. Boom. They said, you guys going to go to the hole, go down for like a year to 6 months. So we're in there. The first thing I did when we went to the yard, I tell them, look, fool, don't talk about nothing. Because remember, this is like NDC, federal building. Everything's mic'd up. In your walls, in your house, everything. And a lot of the homies know, in federal custody, when you come in federal custody, and you're in MDC and MCC in the federal buildings, even when you see your attorney, and as soon as you walk up and you start talking, the first thing he tells you, hey, be quiet, don't say nothing. And he'll take you, and it says at the top of the room when you walk in, it'll say soundproof room 1, soundproof room 2, and you go in those rooms, and once they close the door, he'll tell right now you can talk to me, because what they mean is soundproof is they cannot, the federal government cannot rig up that room so they can hear what you're talking about. That's against the law. That's your own privacy. But that whole building is mic'd up. So one night, me and Chavo were cellies, and one night we're in the cell, and me and them were making some wine. This is like maybe like a month we were there, and me and Chavo were making some wine, and the bag blew up real big, right? The bag blew up real big, and it was almost gonna blow like a balloon. We had like maybe 4 gallons for the homies, and I get up in the middle of the night, and so I can let the air out, so I can take the air out so it won't blow up. And I look at the vent from the side, and I see like a little snake, like a little black snake sticking out the vent. And I tell Chavo, wake up, look. And right when I tell them, they heard it, they pulled it back. You know what I mean? So I told them, just like now, fool. And we're tying the bag, and I get close to him, and I get a pen and a paper, and I write it down. I say, look at the vent, keep your eye on the vent. And I just write it down. I throw the notebook to the side, and he had the bottom bunk. I was in the top. And yeah, like 2 hours later, here comes the snake. It's like a little snake with an eye in it, but real skinny, like a little tube. And he comes, he sees it, and he grabs it. He's trying to pull it. Boom! They pulled it back, and they didn't come back no more. I tell you this story because it's a trip, bro. Hey, well, anyways, I'm sharing this story with you because I want you to understand the things I went through when I was in federal custody and state custody. Sometimes I laugh at it because of the crazy things that they're willing to do to see if you would crack and talk about what you're in there for. Because when they pull you in an investigation, the Fed is different. The state ain't like that. Maybe it is now. I don't know. With the technology they got now, But the federal government, they've been having that technology. They'll put you in a cell with that whole cell is mic'd up. I'm talking about they can hear everything you're talking about, and they can see everything. Every little hole, like you know how the phone, your little hole on your phone is recording, or on your TV, believe me, they're watching you. That's the way the feds are. So I'm sharing this story with you because sometimes I think back and I say, man, how crazy was that? How young and naive I was back then. But now I think older because I'm a lot smarter and I'm more wiser, and I'm not a criminal no more. Yeah, I mean, I'm convicted. I'm in prison, but I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal mind no more. What I am, I'm a person that has changed my ways and realize and see everything for the better now. So I'm sharing you this story with you so you can understand how situations are when you come into any kind of organization or any kind of establishment that has real strong authority. Be careful. And I'm sharing this story with you because I want to help you out to change your ways. Hopefully you never come into the prison system where you get to see this, but I hope you beat it before you come in, because this is why I tell my stories, to help you to not waste your time in prison. Remember, if you want to communicate with me, all you got to do is go www.gettingout.com and my name, Frank Conejo, Cornejo, and then my number, T-30032, to get a hold of me through my tablet. Because every inmate in the Department of Correction now, they gave us a tablet where you communicate with your friends outside in the street or whoever. So the old tablets, they're done with the old tablets. At JP, they took those away. That's why I ask everybody that hears me, because a lot of the people that used to communicate with me with my old tablet, I lost them because they don't know about the new tablets. And me and Tony are just starting our shows back because Tony was training to be a boxer. And I guess they canceled that fight, but he was training, and a lot of
my opponent pulled out.
Preparing, huh? Yeah,
my opponent pulled out. Sorry, I just had to clarify that, Conejo. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you had to. That's good. That's good. You clarified it because it's true. His opponent pulled out because Tony was training. I told him, look, we're gonna pull back on the shows because I understand you gotta train a lot, and he was training every day hard. But the thing is that the opponent pulled out. I don't know why, but Tony was ready. So now we're starting back on our shows, and that's why I'm telling you this, because at the time when Tony was training, we just got these new tablets, and a lot of my people that communicate with me are having trouble getting on it because I haven't shot the word out. That's why I'm shooting the word out through the new shows. So remember, all this is www.gettingout.com. You got to get that in the app on your phone, and it's free. And you got to remember my name, Frank Cornejo, Cornejo, and then my number, T-30032, and I would like to hear from you, okay? You guys have a nice day, a nice night. I love you guys all, and shout out to my boy, Manuel Gonzola, because he relocated, he changed his life through my shows. I'm proud of you, bro. Stay up. All right, Tony.